Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bella, I'm Hendy, and welcome to our onboarding meeting. And in this onboarding meeting, first, as usual, Segue. So for the next 5 minutes, please let us know what's the good news in the past few days.
Is it start from me there?
Yeah, start from you.
Oh,
and going forward, this is probably my last meeting where I am managing the meeting. So on the next meeting, you will own the meeting. Okay, you will be head of the meeting, and you will be in charge of the structure. And yeah, I will just be an attendee, and you will be the head of the meeting.
Okay. So the good news for me is, in these past few days, I have been learning Korean language, and I can stick to the target that I set in the first week. And
so 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. And then it's quite a little bit hard, but somehow I can manage it.
Okay.
And but sometimes I cannot. I just can finish just one level, and then the other day I can finish more than one level, and it's really interesting. How about you, sir?
Okay, so what's interesting on the last few days, there is a potential good news. It's not good news yet, it's just potential good news that AWS, our hosting provider, is will potentially provide us with a quite a big subsidy for the hosting costs and for a quite long time. So if the deal happens, then that means that the company will have more resources to do other things, okay? Because then we will not have to worry about hosting and cloud provider costs for quite some time. So probably that will be sometime in the next week. So I'm really hoping that the deal went through. Okay.
Yes, it's nice. It's very. I hope it can be true in the next week.
Okay, I mean, right. So thank you. And can you open the Notion from your connection?
Yeah, yes, sir. I just open it right now.
Okay, so I think you can screen share your Notion card with your place, because I assume to be having trouble with my Notion, with my connection.
Okay, sir.
Since yesterday.
Share screen. Is it this one, sir?
Yep. Okay, this one is for to the right. Okay, yeah. This is the onboarding one. So, right. About the onboarding, have you done all of the onboarding onboarding card.
Oh.
Okay, the onboarding card is in your middle of product board, and there is a onboarding card there.
Yeah. For this one, sir, I'm not posting my blog yet.
Okay, okay, no problem. But that will be a to do that you have to do for during the next week. Okay, so let's see
Okay,
that.
sir.
Okay, the first blog post. Actually, you already had an article, right? So you have just
Yes,
published the
sir.
article to about Lovia, and a GitLab project invite. Uh, Actually, I have invited you, right? Have you
Yeah,
accepted
yes,
it?
sir.
Mhm.
I already accepted,
Okay.
but
So,
I got confusing about edit the GitLab project settings. I don't know what to
okay.
edit in this project.
All right. So I will just do a quick review on that. So you have already accepted it, right? So you can
Yes, sir.
check the one for accept GitLab project invite. You can accept it because it's already done. Okay, and for the project settings and object the project icon, you can go to GitLab. I'll show you what I mean.
Here, sir.
Okay, go to GitLab. Go to GitLab.
Uh,
All right.
research.
You see there is a project avatar there below, the one with the M.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you just click choose file and choose another
Oh,
image or picture or icon so that the project is more, well, it looks a little bit nicer. Okay, just your
oh,
favorite. Right.
okay, okay.
That's all
Or
for the
is it
task. Okay.
just, oh,
Yeah, just
I
change
see, okay.
change the project avatar. Okay, so let's go back to Notion. And okay, and okay, so you can check the accept GitLab project invite and leave the one that's not done yet. You can do it
Wait.
later.
What?
Accept GitLab project. That's one is not yet, right? The one that edit GitLab project. Okay,
Yes,
you can do it
not
later.
yet, sir.
And accept Lovia to YouTube channel invite. Have you accepted it as the manager? Did you receive the invitation?
Oh, that was for the YouTube channel. I already accept that, sir.
Okay, so you can check it. All right. Okay, so let's go back to the others. Okay, it's already done. So only 2 tasks left, right? And when you have already
Yes.
done the onboarding task, you can move this card to complete. Okay, so let's go back to the meeting agenda for today.
This one.
Okay, so the first one is the onboarding workflow. Right, so let's go to the about Lovia Life. Okay, and the company video review. Okay, all right. Go to about.lovia.live.
Nah.
Okay, okay. Just go to any and go to handbook. Okay, okay. Click the handbook, and then go to people ops onboarding. People ops internship. Go to people ops internship. Okay, so this is our handbook. Yeah, this is our handbook, and you are expected to refer to the articles in this handbook, and you will also be expected to update or improve the documentation in this handbook. Okay, so how the generally, because you will be working on the recommender system, then generally the general information about the recommender system, you will also need to create an article here, and the weekly video and blog post, you will also link here. Okay, I will guide you on the next week, but for now, our focus is just the onboarding. So this is the onboarding workflow. You can right click on the image. You can right click on the image and open in new tab. Yeah. Open image in new tab. So you can see it more clearly. All right. So you are actually already on the last part, because you already asked the member details, and you have already logged into Fusion Auth and Lovia Chat, and also onboarding. So we are currently on onboarding right now, right before the very end. And then we'll also review the video in this onboarding. Okay, so this is also to illustrate that we use BPMN quite intensively. You will see our usage of BPMN also in this meeting. And this one is because BPMN can be used in two ways. One is for just understanding the process. Okay, we can talk from human to human, and so that we can agree on the same thing. Okay, because this one is formal, and so you can see what is the process. And the other use of BPMN is for machine automation. So not just for diagram and then to show the process visually, but if we add some more information or maybe source code, then we can also make the Camunda software run the BPMN for us. And it will be useful for you, maybe not in the first week, but after your recommender system is ready, then you will need to use Camunda to integrate your recommender system with the application. Okay. Okay. Now we will review the video. So we should have a video. Video is vision and traction organizer, but we don't have one yet. It's still in development. It's still in writing. It's still in discussion. I will show you like I can tell you that the vision of the company, Lovia, is to be a professional counseling anytime, anywhere, and tailored for you or for the customer. And that's our core focus. And our core values, there are several core values that is still under discussion, but I think the one core value that will be in our company's core value is to continue self-improvement. So continue self-improvement means that we will strive for all of our team members to be able to grow and improve during during working in our company, including internships. Okay. And another part of video is that our 10-year goal. So Alhamdulillah, the company has been growing. In the past, we have growing both up and down. And in this year, actually, there were a few negative parts as well. partially due to COVID-19, but there was also positive parts, including the one that I've shared you about AWS offer, and also that we are more focused on the counseling business, so that we can compete better with other competitors. And during the next 10 years, until 2030, our goal will be to have to reach by minimum 1.3 billion monthly recurring revenue rupiah ya. And for the team members, we would expect that the team members, we will have a all remote approach, and each team member can work anywhere they feel is best. Each team member can work anytime they feel is best, and they can have a good environment. They can also work with people all over the world, not just in Indonesia. And we will provide all the support that they need. For example, in internship, that we provide the support of technology and also learning resources, etc. And not just that, but we plan to have a yearly gathering, and that will be like from at least once to 4 times, where we go somewhere nice for 2 days for all of the team to gather and work, not just work, but also work and play and have fun. Okay, so that's part of the plan, and also to have a very good salary for the next 10 years. Okay. All right, so that's what our plans are for the future. Okay. Okay, up to this point, is there any question from you?
It's quite clearly, sir.
Quite
No,
what?
no, quite clearly. So
Okay.
For now, I don't think that I have questions.
All right. So did we already review the accountability chart last week?
Sorry, sir?
Did we already review the accountability chart last week?
Accountability chart?
Okay.
I don't think
not
yet.
Not yet, because all right.
Okay.
So you can go to the Notion card again. I think.
Donation card.
Yeah, the Notion card. Did I link the accountability chart from there? Maybe not.
Which one?
Right. Okay. I will send the link now, so you can see it. Okay. I've sent you the link through Zoom chat. The link is in the Zoom chat. Okay. Okay. You can click the Zoom icon below so that it's easier to read. Okay. This is actually still being drafted, so it may change. You can see.
Oh, this is called as accountability chart.
Yeah. Okay. So this is accountability chart, and maybe one thing that I need to mention is that we are using EOS, entrepreneurial operating system, as our business strategic planning methodology. And one part of it is the accountability chart. So it looks like a organization chart, but it's different. The difference is that each of the uh, seats here, so if the boxes, they are seats, and they do not represent one person, but they represent one position. So that means that you can see that some positions uh, are some people have more than one position. Okay, the one that's most obvious is me. I hold several positions for now, but I'm hoping that in the future that those positions will be taken by other people. Okay, so you are in Milov product department. So in Milov product department, it generally focuses on the development of our brand, Milov. So Milov is a counseling for love and marriage relationships. And we also provide a platform for members to get to know each other for matchmaking, right? And can you see yourself in there?
Yes.
Yeah. And Milov product is managed and led by the Chief Operations Officer, and that is currently me. The Milov product lead is also me. And there are three general divisions in our company. One is led by Chief Operations Officer. The operations handles the ongoing delivery of the product and service. And there is also, if you scroll to the right, you can scroll to the right or to the middle. Yeah. And okay, go. Okay. And the second big division is Chief Financial Officer, where the CFO is handling things like infrastructure, including the Rocket Chat, and also finance, legal, and also people ops. So in the new accountability chart, the people ops will be handled by the Chief Financial Officer. And then the other big division is Chief Marketing Officer, where the responsibility is mostly about social media and marketing and sales. Okay, and these are all part of the team of integrator and visionary. So the difference is that the visionary is more about leading or thinking about the company forward and getting to have more external connections or maybe bringing investors. And the integrator is more about running the company and leading the team. Okay, so that is the accountability chart. And let's zoom into your own seat, Bella. Okay. Zoom into your own seat. So because in each seat, there are roles and responsibilities. Okay. You can zoom into your zoom again. Zoom closer. All right. So there are several roles and responsibilities that you have. So these are the things that should be reported each week. Okay. At least if the recommender system is still in progress, then maybe the number of generated recommendations is still 0, right? But then after the system is integrated with the application, then there will be some number there. Okay, because if it's still 0 by the end of your internship, then that means it's not yet applied to the production application, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you will need to measure how much is the accuracy, the general accuracy numbers. And then also the feature time to market. That means the number of days from the inception of the feature that we are discussing. So because you will be starting at May 4, right? And that means
Yes,
the
sir.
counter will start from May 4 to the day that your feature can be used by users. Okay. Okay. Do you have a plan? How many days for the feature time to market?
Still not yet, sir.
Okay. And then sprint velocity is basically the general velocity of the development. How many commits that you do per week. And the last one is weekly tech video and blog or handbook article. And this is what you will be doing each week before meeting. Okay. So I will show you in the weekly agenda. But the general thing is that each week, 24 hours before the next meeting, you will need to make a record a video and upload it to the Team Lovia YouTube channel, and then write a very short blog post embedding that video, and that's it. The reason is because, any question?
The time of video is different from each week.
The time, what do you mean the time?
The theme.
The theme. The theme is basically because it's a weekly video. The theme is whatever that you want to share during the last week. Okay. So, for example, this is just an example. So during the next week, then you will like experiment with the recommender system, right? Or maybe you are learning about a paper or an algorithm or a library, because in this internship, you do not have to write the algorithm yourself. Actually, I do not want you write the algorithm yourself. Okay, so it's like a contrast from academic setting. So in this case, that you have to use an algorithm from already established library. Yeah. So perhaps if you can use a library from TensorFlow, that will be a good one, because we try to standardize on TensorFlow 2. Okay, TensorFlow version 2, and then you can make a short video that will be like only 5 to 10 minutes maybe, or even 3 minutes. But the goal is that it should not be hard for you to make it. So you can just explain or share, I would say share. So it's more about knowledge sharing, actually. It's more about knowledge sharing. Okay. This is how I install TensorFlow in my computer. And then I have tested by running this small program, and yeah, something like that. And then you upload it to our YouTube channel, and then you make a short blog post, embed that video, just make a short description, and then it's done. Okay. It should not be hard. It should not take too long. If you take more than 30 minutes to prepare the video, then that means something is wrong with the process. Okay. So not 30 minutes for the experiment and so on. You already done the experiment, right? So on the video, all you have to do is just you open your project, maybe run it and show what it's doing, something like that.
Okay, sir.
Okay, any question about that?
Not that.
Okay, so we can review the weekly agenda. There is a page on the weekly agenda, right, that they already review. So the one in weekly agenda, yeah, in About Lovia website.
Yes. I already read it.
Okay. So is there any question about that?
Um,
This is
not,
this is the
not
onboarding one, the weekly agenda.
no, sir.
This one. All right. So generally, the week starts when we. I think it's still loading, right? The images aren't loading. Can you refresh it? So the week starts by one-on-one meeting. So I think we can say that this is our first one-on-one meeting, and next week there will be another one-on-one meeting. And after we start the meeting, then you will start to work or to learn. Okay, so there are two activities. Can you refresh the page? I think it's not loading the images. Should be loading, right? No, session expired. Okay.
This one, sir.
Yeah. So after the meeting, you can work on your to-do list, and also you can do some research. And the one in the flash circle there means that if anything happens, like maybe you have a problem, you have an issue, the library is error or something like that, and what you can do is that you can create a card or issue in Notion, describe your problem, and then you can mention your manager, me, or you can also discuss that in the Lovia chat room. Okay, so if you need immediate help, then you can use the chat. If you think that you just like asking for feedback or something, or you have progress, then you can write it on your issue and then mention me. Okay. Generally,
Yes, sir.
hopefully you can move on with another topic if it's blocking. So that's where we can discuss. We can discuss on Notion, because Notion is also a collaborative tool where we can edit the same document at the same time and also to make comments. But we can also use the chat room. You can use the Lovia chat in the channel or also direct message, up to you. Right. But in the if you use the channel, that may also be helpful for other team members to know what's going on, because maybe sometimes they want to know or learn also. But the weekly video and blog post is also available for everyone to also learn together. So as you can see that the blog posts and videos are public, so not only our team members that can learn together, but also everyone from around the world. Okay, you can even share for your friends and so on, even if they are not part of the team. So that is also, I think, one of our core values, is that even that our business model is actually a very, very confidential and private one. We handle sensitive customer information. However, the way we run the process, we strive to be as open as possible. So, uh, so that people know that we are making our best effort to run this company as professional as possible. Okay. And also, we'd like to share the knowledge that we have to the world, and anyone, especially from the company, of course, but also from people outside the company. They can learn from us, they can make feedback, and hopefully if they are interested to join, then they can also apply to us. Okay. And then after you do your weekly to-do or research, you will also need to improve our documentation. This website that you are looking right now, at least there will be one page that you will need to be doing, and that will be the recommended system page, right? Recommended system page, where you describe how does the recommender system works. Okay, so that will be a task for maybe next week, and you will improve just to show how it's doing. Because I don't know how long that you will be with us, but after you are no longer working as an intern, there will be another person that will need to continue to maintain the, the software. So documentation is always needed. Okay. Now the right part is 24 hours before the next meeting. Okay. So the 24 hours before the next meeting, what you need to do is that you need to record and upload the video to the Lovia team channel, and then summarize that in a blog post. You already made your first article, but you haven't posted it, and so you can also make something like that. But because most of the content is already in the video, you don't have to write a lot of things in the blog post. If you want to, that's also okay. But generally, the main content is the video. I want it to be as light as possible, as easy as possible, so it does not make burden or pressure on you. It should be just like sharing, okay? Sharing knowledge, and should be happy about it. And maybe the question is why? Okay? The reason is because first, our assumption is that we are an all remote company. People are, even at this time, people are already working from 3 different time zones. Okay, we have team members from Jakarta, around Jakarta. Okay, and we have team members from around Makassar. That's already a different time zone, and we also have a team member at Azerbaijan. So it's a different time zones. So that means it will be hard if we have to synchronize of all of our operations. If we are all in like in the same office, then usually your manager can like go to your table, your desk, and then say, okay, what are you working on, and so on. And then in the afternoon or in the before you go home and ask or chat or something. But it's it's not always possible at Lovia, and especially during COVID-19. But generally, that's our assumption. Okay, COVID-19 or not, even if the COVID-19 is gone, I mean, and then we can work in the same place sometimes. Okay, and but we are still in that assumption that everyone is in their own times and in their own places, and that means how your manager knows what you are doing. You cannot like schedule, okay, schedule to meet. If you want to schedule the meet, that's only for the meeting. And for the meeting, what we will do is that we will need to identify issues, discuss, and then solve. But during the meeting, what we not do is that we we report the progress and share. So the sharing and reporting of progress is already done before the meeting. So that's why there is a 24 hours. The 24 hours is because there will be several people that will be reporting to me. For example, today I will have meeting 4 people, you and also Angela and Kevin, also Devi, and it will not be effective if during the meeting I have to uh, take a look at your program and you are doing the demoing, or we have to watch a video. Okay, so to make it more effective, then that means I have to watch your video. If we are doing the meeting at 10 a.m., then that means I already need to watch a video this morning or maybe last evening, right? So if I already watch your video and I already like read your blog and I'm thinking, and by the time that we do the meeting next week, we can just go straight to the topic, right? Okay, so by the time that we do the meeting, I will already ready to discuss feedback for your progress. So that's the reason. Okay, and then after that, then you'll need to update your scorecard. So the scorecard is they are simply numbers. Okay, they are simply numbers. like how many blog posts or how many videos that you posted should be one. Okay. And how many like how accurate it is. Okay, so the numbers may be like, okay, I get like 61% accuracy. Well, that's very good, definitely much better than 1% accuracy, right? Okay,
Yes.
so so things like that. Okay, so the scorecard is simply numbers, and if it's already deployed, you can say, okay, the recommendation system has done like 50 recommendations in the last week or something. Okay, and also prepare the meeting agenda. Okay, so there will be two times when you prepare the meeting agenda. So the first one is after the current meeting. So after this meeting, you will create a meeting agenda for next week. There is already a template. All you have to do is make one and fill some issues, and then 24
Okay.
hours before the meeting next week, or yeah, you will need to update, for example, if there are issues or something like that, and the numbers, so that when we run the meeting, you don't have to like open that or open that uh, because all the information is already in the Notion.
Mm,
Okay,
okay.
so that's the weekly agenda. Is there any question?
Uh, no, sir.
All right, so let's go back to the Notion card. So that's it for the company brief. That took longer than expected, but all right, because this is onboarding anyway. So next up is the tool brief. So you already seen about Lovia, right? This is our documentation tool. So you can
Mm,
edit all of the articles there. And actually you will have to edit the article to provide documentation. Because again, since we are an all remote company, you cannot just like go to a team member and ask, hey, how do I do this? Or hey, how do I do that? No, the general principle is when everyone, okay, each and every one of us do something, then that should be documented. Actually, for example, we are using Lovia chat, right? If you go to about Lovia, actually there is a page about the chat that describes exactly how to create that Lovia chat system from the start to the end. Okay, so if
mm,
someone else wants to manage that, they can. Also for the WordPress, and also for the Camunda BPMN system, all the recommendation is there. Okay, so not have to wait for someone to ask, but generally when there is information, that information should be in the documentation or the handbook, and each person will need to update it, and the other person, any team member that requires information, should be able to look up the handbook first, and 80% of the time the information that is needed should be already in the handbook, either in the handbook or in Notion. But if not, then we can ask the team member that is responsible, and if that's a common question or a common information that should be there, then it should be in the handbook. Okay, any question with about
okay, sir.
Lovia? Okay, next up is Notion. So we use Notion as the project management application.
Okay.
For the meeting agenda every week, it should be Notion. And also issues, you can go to Beloved Product Board right now, where I will show you. Okay. Okay. All right. So there are several people here, and including yourself. So if you want to filter out this, so you can focus on your own, you can go to filter. Okay, you can click filter. All right. And then assign, yeah, so task assigned to me.
I cannot click it, sir.
You cannot, I think you can like add a filter then. You can click add a filter. Click the filter, add the filter below the plus sign. Yeah. And then that's change to assign. Okay, the project one, change the projects to assign. Okay.
Okay. Assign.
Yeah, assign, and then okay, assign, select person you. Okay, yeah. So you have one card right now, and it's still in progress. Yeah, and hopefully, actually, that's only like 2 tasks for you right now. So actually, you can do it quickly. But after that, then you move to complete. And so let's create an issue, right? Okay, you go to issues. You can click the plus button on the, yeah. Also, you can create a task from there. No problem. Yeah, you can issues and then click and okay, okay, open it and choose the template below. You can choose task there. Okay, you can choose task below on the bottom. On the bottom, you can choose task as the template. All right, so put the title on top. On the first, okay, title is the match recommender system. You can put there. Match recommender system. All right. So this is generally what they will do, right? Okay, and then you choose the type. Okay. Okay. Yep. So type. I think this will be epic, right? Because this will take quite some time to do. But yeah, test is okay.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't really matter. And then for the product manager, you can choose handy for the project manager.
Product manager.
All right. Okay. So, and then the timeline. Okay. So decide a date where you think the recommender system is done. Okay. Already usable. At least a prototype. Okay. A prototype, or it can be used by a user. What do you think your deadline will be? Okay. So I hope it's not really like a pressure, because it's okay to miss deadlines, but the general theme is that when we set a goal, so we know what is the goal. Okay, we know what is the goal. Even if we do not set a goal, then that means whether you reach or not the goal, then you don't know. Okay, but if you set a goal, if you can do it earlier, then you will be happy. Okay, you have a sense of accomplishment. Hey, I did it earlier than expected. And if you do it on time, then you are also happy. Yeah, I do it on time. But if you are doing it late, that's okay. No pressure on that. But then, yeah, maybe it's because maybe it's not realistic. Yeah, maybe you are like too ambitious. Maybe the challenge is harder. Okay, so we should set a timeline anyway, and then okay, you can describe the problem statement first. So that's one that we have to use to write at this point. The other ones that you can write after this outside of the meeting. So the problem statement, what do you think the problem statement should be? So for me is that we have a data of users and their attributes, right? We have data of users and their attributes. Attributes is like gender and age and religion. Okay, and then these users can like or dislike other users. Okay, and other users may have also attributes. So how from that data we can make a recommendation which other users that a user may like. Okay, so take your time to make that into a good problem statement.
Okay, sir. Secretary.
Now you have to write the success criteria for now. Just the problem statement for this meeting. I just want you to write the problem statement. So to make it quick for this one. So how do you think that you will write this problem?
What we recommend.
Yeah, true. Okay. Okay.
Is it
Yeah, that's one part of it, and of course the second part of it is that the recommender system itself. Okay, so you continue with writing. The recommender system is like describe the recommender system that you want.
for the recommender system, it is based on the criteria profile that they already mentioned earlier.
Actually, the general theme is this: user can like another user, right? But the liking is not like based on like a criteria. For example, that the user does not. Let's take a look, for example, when you shop at e-commerce, right? Because there is a recommender system there. So each product, there are users and there are products, right? But in the e-commerce, the user can like a product. Liking means that the user clicks on the love button, or maybe user visits a page just by opening a product, and that means, yeah, maybe he's interested, or by buying a product. So what the user does not like input to the system, when you like, you don't like, you do not input what is the product price, or what is the product category, or what is the product description, and so on. The user does not have to do that, right? But the recommender system knows that the user attributes are here, okay? And the product attributes are like this. And when the user, this kind of user, likes that kind of products, then the general logic is that maybe such kind of users can also like such kind of products. Let me take a look. For example, you are what city are you from now? What city?
Lampung.
You are from Lampung. Okay. So what is your favorite food?
Favorite food?
What's your favorite
satay.
food in Lampung? Okay, satay. Okay, satay. So, for example, if you are in a recommender system for food, okay, and then
Yeah.
I know the system knows that you as a user from Lampung buy satay, okay, and then
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow you buy satay again, okay, so you have bought satay a few times, so the user knows, okay, Bella likes satay, and then there is another user that joins the system for the first time.
Yeah.
That person is from Lampung. So can the system predict?
I.
Can the system predict what the user will buy for food? Maybe
Uh.
there is a great chance that the user will buy satay. Why?
Satay.
Because there
Because.
is a commonality between you and this new user, same from Lampung. Maybe he will also like satay too, because generally people from Lampung like satay. Okay, so that's the logic.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's the logic. How does that work in the recommended system? That is your work.
Yes.
That is the algorithm. Okay. And you will be doing that for hundreds of thousands of users, let's say. And okay, so in this problem statement, is there any question at this point?
That's it, sir.
All right. Okay. So this one we will discuss every week. Okay. So every week we'll open this card, and you will make changes to this card. So this is like the progress one, but other than this notion, this is for discussing issues, but for the things that are already done, like the structure of the application and so on, you will write it on the handbook. Okay, so handbook is
Mm-hmm.
more for people to read and understand about the system, and the notion card is more about discussing issues, and yeah, so it's more like a living debate in this notion card. Okay. All right,
Yes,
so
sir.
let's go back to the meeting agenda again. Okay, so now you already have one issue that is not yet in progress, right? Okay, so what is the next? No. The meeting agenda. Let's go to meeting agenda. That's in the Lovia operations calendar. It's in the Lovia.
Yeah.
Okay, right. And then after that, we have the Lovia chat. You already seen it, right? So do I
Mm-hmm.
have to explain what the Lovia chat is?
Lovia
Yeah.
chat is Lovia chat is our tools to communicate
Right.
uh with other people in the
Yeah.
company,
Yeah.
and we use it for discuss
Okay.
and
All right.
sharing the issue.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So I also have to mention that Lovia Chat has an API, and maybe you already seen our API and automation in action. Do you notice that sometimes the bot sends you a message or update?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
that is also that's also a nice thing. If maybe later, if you already complete the main recommended system, that you also make an integration so that the bot can report directly to the channel. Maybe like the bot says that, okay, today I make 20 recommendations. Okay, like that. So
Oh,
we can get updated on how the recommender system is doing using the, the bot. Okay, it's it's not be too should not be too difficult to integrate with the chat and a bot system for sending notifications. And actually, I can show you how I did the current bots, but later. Okay, so no question about chat, right?
yeah, no, sir.
Okay, so yeah, there is no training on how to send a private message. or the channel. Right. So the next is Camunda. Okay. So now you can please log into Camunda. Okay. So now you can go to Cockpit. You can go to Cockpit. There are several applications in Camunda. Now, Cockpit is where you can see what the system is doing. You can click on process definitions. You can click there. Okay, now you can see there are several process definitions in there. So a process or a workflow. Now, maybe you see that the names there, some of them may be familiar to you. For example, let's take a look at the Lovia team notify new YouTube video. Just click on it. Okay. So the running process instance is 0. It's okay. That's weird. But try to click on the running process instance. I wonder if it's working or is it having error. Is it not working?
Yeah, it's still loading, sir.
Right. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. So this is really the actual mechanism in that you receive the notification from the chatbot. Okay. Okay, so you can see that we have a bot that sends you this new video notification, right? So let's see how it works in Camunda. Okay, so you already seen that it works, but okay, so let's see behind the scenes. So let's click the plus button so you can zoom a little bit there. Plus on the right side, bottom right. Yeah, the plus button. Okay. Okay, so first it starts from when the YouTube video published, and then it will check the author. Okay, it will check the author of the video because there are several videos that we are monitoring, not just from Lovia team. We are also monitoring video from other YouTube channels. Okay, so this logic here is okay. So generally, the videos should go to which channel and for what criteria is there. Okay, so try to click on one of the. Oh, you cannot write. Okay. You can click it if there is a instance running. But yeah, so that's generally the logic, and after that, the notifications will be sent. So, and then it works, right? So it's not just a pretty diagram, but it's actually working. And if you want to make a change to a diagram or a workflow, then you can make the change visually. Also, you can also edit the source code of each block or task. But then everyone knows how the system works, right? If you have a just source code, then maybe it's other people will not understand if they do not understand like JavaScript or TypeScript or Python or something. But if we have this kind of diagram, okay, the diagram has notation, but everyone can learn that notation. And when you learn that notation, then all of us should be able to understand what this workflow is about and how it works.
Yes, sir.
All right. So any question about this one?
No, not it.
All right. So let's go back to the processes. You click on the processes. I will show you a different process that is maybe, no, still in Camunda. Still in Camunda. And because you will also be creating, let's try the one in ensure customer data. Okay, ensure customer data in Chatmoko. this is also one workflow that is still in progress, maybe more complex, but even if this is complex,
Sure.
you can still see it on one page, yeah,
One page.
on one screen.
Yeah.
Maybe it would not be possible if you have to take a look at all of the source code of this process. There are several hundred lines of source code, but generally here you can see that from the leftmost part is that ensure customers in chart mogul. So chart mogul is our analytics application where we analyze the how our revenue is performing and how our subscription, the paying customers, how they are doing. Okay, so we need to link from the system of ChatMogul with our own database, and this is how we do it. So as you can see that first the process on the left. Can you see the process on the left one? Okay, how many? There are two tasks, right?
Yes, sir.
Find mail of
Find
user and then find the chart mogul
Find
customer.
Mogul.
Makes sense, right? Because we are dealing with two systems, then that means we need to find the user from both systems, right? And we do it in parallel, okay, not sequential. You can look at, and then after we have these two users from different systems, and then as you can see on the X in the middle, is that whether the customer data is already in ChatMogul. And if it exists, it updates. And but if it doesn't exist, then it will create the user. So I hope that because previously you say that you are still unclear about BPMN. So I hope this overview can make you understand a little bit more about how we can use BPMN in a business process, in a workflow. Okay. So inside these boxes is actually source code, but at least the general structure of how this works is that you can like visually imagine how it works. Okay, it's not just like all of code. Okay, so of course in each of the boxes, if you find mail of user, then that means that you need to do like query, database, and so on and so on. Okay, but generally this is how it works. Like we can like debate or discuss this in a meeting. Okay, this should not work like this. You should put this box before this one or so on. Okay, without having to debating on the details of the source code. Okay. Okay. So any question on this part?
No, sir.
Yeah. So can you imagine that you will be like creating a BPMN, for example, when this user does something, and then you will need to have like a box here to query the recommendation system, and then the recommendation system will display that to the user or send email to the user, something like that. And we can discuss the way the things work using BPMN. All right. So let's go back to the agenda. Actually, our time is only 20 minutes left.
Yes,
And then the last one is GitLab.
GitLab.
Do you have any question about GitLab?
But yes, sir. It is uh like same like the GitHub one.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Although maybe most people think that GitHub is or GitLab is just to host source code, but GitLab is also, at least for us, we also use it to do continuous integration and continuous deployment. So what that means is that when things already set up, then when you code and then you publish, you git push, yeah, you git push to GitLab. What should happen is that GitLab then should build the program and then test the program and then make a report from that. So that should be done automatically. So not just okay, like save that to the to GitLab repository, then done. No, but it will build it, it will test it, and if the test passes, no problem, then either nothing will happen or it will deploy that to the production server system. But if something is wrong, then you do not have to do anything. Like you can do git push to GitLab repository, and then you leave to eat satay or something. And then if something goes wrong, then GitLab will tell you. The GitLab will email and it will say, "Hey, this test is not working. Okay, this test fails," and so on. And then, oh yeah, I sit there, and that saves time, right? Because you don't have to run
Yes.
the test yourself. The system will do it
Yes.
automatically for you. Right. And hopefully that we can also have that more integration with GitLab in our chat. So rather than GitLab doing the notification using email or other stuff, then um, team members should be able to have that notification in the chat where uh, that will be. So the Lovia chat is actually intended to be a communication platform not only for humans, but Lovia chat is also intended for to be the communication platform for humans and machines as well. Okay, right. And also to continuous deployment, that means that if you are already um, completed the recommendation system and then you publish to GitHub and there is an update, the way to do the update should not be that you build it on your own computer and then you upload it to the server and make server configuration. It should not be like that. So the way you do it is just that you push to GitLab, and then when the checks and tests are successful, then GitLab will deploy that to the production server, where then the users will be able to use your recommended system. Okay, so that will save time and it will also save bandwidth, because if every update then you upload to the server, then your quota will be gone quickly, right? Okay, so you can use the GitLab server to deploy the system for us. Okay, all right, that's about the tool brief. So any questions so far about the tools that we use?
Sir, it's
Okay, all right, so actually now will be a time where we discuss the project itself, what you are going to do starting from 4th of May. 4th of May is next Monday, starting from next Monday. So let's do this discussion maybe for 10 minutes at the maximum. What do you want to ask or what do you want to discuss about this task? Hmm.
for the data.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. Of course, I will share you the data. The data will be somewhat anonymized. Okay, somewhat anonymized. Um, there will be no information like name or so on. There will be no such information, but the information will be only ID, ID of the user, ID of the user, and legally, it's not a PII. It's not a personally identification information. It's just a number, and you cannot like search the Google for that number and bring up a person. It's not, because it's not a username and so on. And when you think about it, if you build a recommender system, you don't care about the user's name, right?
yes.
Yeah. For example, in my previous example of a satay as a favorite food, maybe what you need to know is the food that the user used to buy and maybe where this person is from. Okay, but you do not need to know the name of the user. In fact, it's not relevant, right? For example, if there's someone in the India that is named Bella also, does that mean that two Bellas like the same food?
I don't know.
I don't think so,
Like
right?
that.
There is no
Yes, sir.
correlation. Maybe the more correlation is that the age, maybe, or the gender. Okay, so generally you will like more of the same food from people in the same area, than from someone in like Europe. Okay. Right. So let
Okay.
me show you a little bit about the data. Okay, the data will be in JSON. Let's see. This one. Okay. So yeah, I think okay. Okay. I will share you the file later, but now I will share my screen so that I can show you what it looks like. Right. Recommendation system. Okay. Okay. So is it visible there?
Sir.
Okay. Can you read it? So this is
Oh.
the data that you will get. Okay. So it's like it's a JSON one actually, but you can then convert the data because the data is from MongoDB database. So that's why the structure is like this. Okay. And this is a snapshot from like a few months ago, but then you can like update the data periodically, real time from the system is also possible. Of course, when the system is done, then it will be updated automatically. But for the experiment phase, and you can use the snapshot. So, for example, this is the kind of traits or attributes of a like or dislike. Okay, so this is not the data for each user, but this is the kinds. Okay, the kinds of activity or liking or disliking that is possible in the system. So for example, in the e-commerce example, you can express like or dislike by maybe by buying the product, okay? Or you can also rate the product 1 to 5, something like that. But in this case, you can, a user can say that I like this person because this person is which one is liking? Because this person is religious, or because this person is diligent, because this person is honest, and so on. And you can also express dislike, maybe because this person is like a different ethnicity, the job is not good, and so on. Okay. Any question about this this structure at first?
No, sir.
Okay. I will share you the file later. Okay. And then the next one is the the next one is the actual data. So as you can see, there is this reviewer ID. So the reviewer ID means the user that is doing the liking or disliking. Okay.
Okay.
And the user ID is the target. Okay. The user ID is the target. And then there is the sentiment here. So just sentiment here generally, A means it's a like, and U means it's a dislike. Okay, U means it's a dislike. And then the threads here is using the code of the threads in the previous data. For example, handsome and pretty and so on, there are codes for the threads. All right. So that's it. That's the kind of data that you will get. There will be quite a lot of them here. So you can use that for training and also for testing. Yeah. So if you want to like test, then that means you train for maybe 60% or 80% of the data or something, and then the rest of one you try to you use the recommender system to guess. Okay, to guess whether this user will like or dislike another, and then you compare based on the test data. Does it work or not work? Okay. I would say expect that the performance will be low, but that is okay. If there are several ones that are correct, then that means it's very good. Okay. As you can see, when you go to the e-commerce system or app, and then the recommendation comes up, do you actually like all of the recommendations?
Not
No, right? So if
sometimes
there's,
they are false.
yeah, so if the recommender system gives you 10 options and you only like one, so that means the 9 you don't like, right?
Yeah.
That means like, oh, well, that's only 10% accuracy. But if you like one and then you buy that one, that is already a good for the business, right?
Yes.
So it's different, yeah. The recommender system does not aim to achieve like 100% accuracy. No. But the goal of the recommender system is that if you can make the user like or buy or do the activity, even if just a small portion, then that means the recommender system is working. And the nice thing is that for the 9 that you don't like, if you click dislike, then that means the recommender system will be smarter.
Well, not yes.
Yeah. And some users may ignore, and some users may like that, and then they will say, oh, I dislike this one, I dislike this one, I like this one, and then that makes the recommender system even better.
Yes.
Right. So any question about this part of data?
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay, so I think that with this data, then during the next week you will already be able to do some experiments, right? Or at least initial learning. Okay, so I will leave this back to you because this is already. All right, so let's open again your screen sharing to open the Notion card. Okay, so the last part here will be um, concluding. Okay, so to conclude, you will have a few tasks, right? A few tasks that you will be doing for the next week and also for during your internship. And then we read this meeting and create another agenda for next week. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Before we create the agenda, let's read this meeting first. What do you think this meeting score from 1 to 10? You can put the number there.
8
Okay,
for
you can
me.
put the number there.
Oh,
Okay. Right, and you can put the one from me too. I think this is also an 8 because I think this is quite on time. Meeting is scheduled for 90 minutes, and it's our 3
Yes.
minutes. It's 3 minutes before 90 minutes. So I hope this is actually gets done. You can put 8 on my number. Right. So now what we have, what you will have to do, and what you will always be doing every week, yeah, is that you create another meeting agenda for next week. Okay. So you go to Lovia operations calendar. Okay.
Okay.
Right. And then you click on, oh, okay. We don't have, we have not yet decided what day. So I will ask you, what day do you want the meeting to happen every week? Okay, every week. And what time do you think it's most comfortable for you? Because it's
This Friday, it's okay, sir.
okay. Friday is okay. All right. So, but I think 10 a.m. is too close to the Jumat prayer, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
How about 9:30? 9:30 every Friday. Is it okay?
Uh, can we move it
Mhm.
into the evening one, like
Mm-hmm.
2 o'clock or 1 o'clock, maybe, sir?
You mean afternoon?
Yes, afternoon.
Afternoon, yeah, there is a problem because I already have a schedule
Oh,
with Angela
already.
at that time. Can you just guess another time?
Mm, maybe on Saturday, sir.
Saturday. What time do you think is good for Saturday?
Uh, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Okay, 1 o'clock. I already have another meeting, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, I can do it after 3 4 p.m.
Oh,
Saturday
it's
is
okay.
okay.
It's
Okay,
okay for
4
me, sir.
p.m. All right.
4
So
p.m. Saturday.
let's make a click there on Saturday. Okay, and then you enter Beladina. You can also say just Bella if you want. Bella, Match Recommendations Engineer, one-on-one weekly meeting. Okay. Now, then you choose the template. Choose the template. Choose the template first. Choose the template. Because we have templates, right? So it makes it easy for you. You don't have to use a template actually, but it just makes it faster. All right.
Okay, sir.
So, okay. So now we have a rock review. Okay. So the rock review is your thing, right? So go to the rock review and then uh, edit the on off track. You can remove that and then you click add. Okay. You can delete the text for now. Okay. And then you replace that. You make more another text. Okay, make another text. You can enter, and then press add. You can press the add button. Oh, you can also do that. You can link. Try to find the link. Link to existing page. Okay, and then type match recommendation. Match recommender. Yeah, I think the title of the that one, match recommender system. Okay, all right. So then that means now you know. Okay, so we can review that. And then to-do list, that will be a list of to-dos, but I think that one is the rock review. If we have to-dos, then it should be there. Oh, you can add a to-do there. So just remove first using backspace. Just use backspace and then click add. Yeah, just remove it, but not entirely. And then you type, yeah, like that, and then type add. I think this time not using block, but type the add key on the keyboard. Add
Like
email.
this, sir?
No, add email.
Oh.
Like the add email, right? And then you can Beladina onboarding. Okay, you can search that Beladina onboarding. So that you can see the card. Beladina onboarding. It's not visible. Can you just space and then onboarding? So you are sure that that's the card that we are doing. Onboarding. Oops, it's gone. Oh, it's gone. No, not using dash, just using space. Let's repeat that again.
Oh.
Click add again. Type the add again.
That.
And then just and type Beladina spasi space onboarding. It's gone, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
this one.
Okay, so maybe I think it should be, what's the actual title? Maybe we can guess then. Okay, do that again. Add then Beladina, and maybe select the one in the board. It should be that one. You need to add again Beladina, and okay, I think it would be, yeah, that one. That's the correct one. All right. So and then you click on the the dot uh, the dots there. Left one, the left one. Go left, go left. No, left.
But
The left part.
oh,
Yeah. And then click there. Okay, you
it's
can
for
move it.
moving the
Yeah, but you can click. And there will be a menu then. Click the dot. And then turn into to do. All right. So in the agenda, you have a list of to-dos, and then we know whether the status is done or not. Okay. So that's Notion. Actually, Notion is very powerful, but yeah, it takes some time to get used to it. But I think when you get used to it, then it will be quick to do. All right. And on the rating part, I think the others you do not have to fill. And in the rating part, you then put your own name. And the other one, okay, then the top one is you. You should be the first because you are the owner of the meeting. Yeah, you put add and then write your own name. All right, and then that's it. So that's how you prepare for the next meeting's agenda. And if during this next week you have issues or something, you can discuss with me on chat, or you can also write it on the card or on the meeting agenda so that I know what to expect next week on next week's meeting, because maybe I need time to prepare, right? If you just bring it after we have started the meeting, maybe I will say, oh, I don't know, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But if you bring it to the issue like 24 hours before or several days before, then maybe I can like Google or find other solutions and so on. So when we go to the meeting, it can be more productive, and we can solve the issues faster.
Yes.
All right, that will be the conclusion of the meeting. Oh, and the to-do list. I think there's be several more. Okay, go to to-do list and add more. You can click the plus button. Oh yeah, that's also okay. Weekly, type weekly video. Okay,
Oh,
when you click the weekly video, it should be there. Is there a
this one, sir.
Yeah. Okay, and then
Publish weekly
yeah,
video.
that's true. And then another
Okay.
one, and the below, yeah, you can make that a to-do list. Okay, you are now a Notion expert now. Yeah. and
Yay!
the one,
Thank you, sir.
and the one below, you make another to-do. Make another to-do for the blog.
Okay.
Okay, add
Oh,
again, and I think the title is summarize.
summarize.
I think the title is
Summarize.
summarize. Summarize. Yeah. All right. So we have 3 to-dos for next week. Okay. Yeah, we're like 8 minutes late now, but I think it's okay. So, is there any more question, or it's done and we can conclude the meeting?
It's enough, sir.
All right. So, thank you very much, Bella, for today's meeting.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Lovia. I'm very excited and looking forward for you to be productive quickly, and I hope I can also help you grow and learn in this experience.
Okay, thank you to sir for sharing your knowledge during this meeting.
All right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.